Good evening. I dedicate this evening to my college friends who decided to go on a road trip spring break down in Florida, but they got pulled over speeding down in Georgia. So when the state trooper approaches the car, he goes, seeing the Pennsylvania tags, "You know, Yankees, nobody goes fast through Georgia." Well, one of the friends in the back seat yells out, "Sherman did." So, being many years younger back in my 20s, not having much of a game, no playbook, it was more like a pamphlet flyer. With not much experience, I tended to go by what I saw on TV and the movies because that stuff works, right? So, here, for example, when I was coaching an elementary basketball team, and of course, for anybody who ever did any coaching, all the parents sitting in the back think they're assistant coaches. So I hear the parents starting to complain because they don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. So I'm laughing along, but then they keep it up. So of course, what comes to my mind, David Letterman, when I turn around and say, "If you want to coach, get your own team." Could have heard a pin drop. And I figured, well, I'm going to hear it from the principal tomorrow. But that's tomorrow, why worry about it tonight? So I said that brief story to tell you this. When I was in college, I was acquaintance with this one girl, and we started to become better friends, but then I knew that she was going West Coast to go to school. So why would I get involved in a relationship with a girl who was becoming geographically undesirable? And my friend said, "Joe, you're falling in." No. It happened. And no matter how many times a phone call was made or letters were written, because that's what we did in the 80s, that it was just the kiss of death. But I did leave the door open and say, if you ever come back here when you're done, since I knew that her family was in New Jersey, you know, somehow she might come back, look me up. So a few years later, she did. So we got together, and we were living close together with jobs, and things are good. Things got better. Things got real good. And then she was saying all the things that were checking off the boxes, because it got to the part of the relationship where she was saying, "If we were to go on our honeymoon, where would you like to go?" Check. What kind of town do you think we would live in? Okay. What kind of house do you think we would like to live in? What would be some names that you would name our children? Now that might send somebody running for the hills. Not me. That's what I wanted to hear. So the two of us are heading down the right path. Then it came, the phone call. Like a sack of hammers hitting me over the head, it was, the relationship's over. So what came to my mind was John Belushi, Animal House. Over? It's not over. It's not over till we decide it is. So that night, road trip to North Jersey. So I was set, left school, we were done, went up there, went to her parking lot, her development, and waited, and waited, and waited, till she finally came home. And then she kind of a little bit shocked to see me there. But then after about an hour or so of talking and trying to logically wrap my mind about why she decided to end the relationship, I just gave up. I was waving a white flag to myself thinking, nothing's happening. There's no way of convincing her. It's over. So the only thing I thought of doing was, "So, Suze, you want to go upstairs one last time?" That didn't. So then came the drought. I couldn't find anybody. There's no relationship, couldn't find anybody. If they had Facebook back then, it would have been saying, "Joe has suddenly regained virginal status." Right? So then, with a long Polish name that I have, I'm at a Philadelphia Polish social club, and in walks this statuesque beauty who was involved in dance, and they also had a dance club there too for Polish folk dance, because the grandmothers always made the best homemade meals when they had the parties. There was always alcohol there, and they sold me on, besides, we got co-ed dressing rooms. Okay, where do I sign? So as soon as she showed up, you know, Rich, the director, said, "Okay, Steve, you can dance with her." And I just jumped right. I was like, "Nope, she'll be my partner for the night." So we hit it off, and she'd be home from college each weekend. And we go to an all-night diner. And I didn't care for the fact that she had a boyfriend since her freshman year. She was a junior because she was spending her weekends with me. He was a junior music major. So I thought I brought more to the table. And the more we talked, the more I tried to hide my college ring, because knowing that there was about a 10-year difference, I didn't want to bring math into it, or try to figure out the difference. So that went on great, but then that relationship ended. Another phone call. If the first one was at Sanka Hammers, this was like a suitcase full of craftsman tools. And then I thought, okay, Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber. If I had just that one shot in a million, this could be it. So the next winter, I drive to South Jersey, maybe a better shot than North Jersey. So I drive to South Jersey with my new car, all-wheel drive, breaking trail through all the snow. All the houses are cleared of snow. Her mom's house has snow on the driveway and the sidewalk. There's a for sale sign on the front lawn. Now the plot thickens. She's friends with the neighbors. So I go to the neighbors, try to let it be known that I'm not a stalker. She gives me her mom's phone number. Mom gladly gave me her phone number. I call her up, and she told me that when she came back from student teaching in England, her boyfriend broke it off after 4 years. Of course, I'm going, oh, that really stinks. But on the inside, I'm going, yeah, baby, I got shot here. So then I set it up so that she said yes for the date. We set it up, and I do my leap of faith, jump for joy, and I forgot I'm 6'4" with good vertical leap, low ceiling, stucco finish, cracked my knuckles. So I went up to visit her, and I'm like, how do I pull this off? Well, if I present her with a bouquet of roses, she won't see my hands. If I hold her hands from underneath at the Chinese restaurant, she won't see my hands. If I get her laughing so much that she's coughing rice up out of her nose, she won't notice my hands. And I guess that's what worked, because this summer it makes it 20 years. So here we go.